Now recording.
Awesome. Okay. Welcome everyone to the April 16th RCOS Large Group. Today's the first day of final presentations. So we've got a few things before those. Next slide.
Oops, you only wanted one.
We will start. There we go. We'll start with announcements. The last few workshops of the semester, and then we will have presentations, and then we will discuss what happens next class, and we'll end with attendance. So let's get started with announcements.
You've seen this before. Check your email if you're still interested. That's all.
So we have a few events going on. The IBM Call for Code is still going on. They had their conference call already on 12/12. I believe that was taped. So you can still get into it. But this is Global Coding Call for Code Global Challenge Month. So please get involved if you can. A lot of our projects, or a number of our projects, have come from that. Good links there. The Cross Center for Research in Open Source application is still open until the end of April. Go ahead and do that. Like, we're trying to get through these so we start on time. You guys can read as well as I can, and we've had these a couple of times. And again, the All Things Open has a call for papers open as well. So if you're interested in that, it would be really interesting or really cool to get some presentation suggestions from RCOS. Certainly, we would help you, or I would help you as much as you need to get something good out there. But please consider, they're looking for students. They're looking for anything open source. We have an interesting story here. You guys have a lot of great projects you could talk about. And your experience doing open source as an undergraduate would probably be, could probably make an interesting presentation of some sort. Finally, on the 30th, we'll have Alan Tucker talk. We'll talk about this a little bit more closer to the date, but he does COFOS, mentoring nonprofit organizations on how to interact with groups like yourselves, and allow being the interface between the two. And he's going to talk to us about that. Frank?
We are inching ever closer to the end. You should have, well, if you're going today, you should have your presentations ready. If you're not going today, they should be started or done. Keep an eye on the presentation schedule. That's all.
All right, some quick overview about some upcoming workshops. These are next week. We've got Telescope Deep Dive with Nia on the 21st at 4 o'clock. And we've got JSON Web Tokens with ACE also on the 21st and at 5 o'clock. So definitely back to back. You can go attend both if you'd like. But yeah, more on that next Tuesday.
Presentations are starting today, and if you're not going today, you're going soon. The schedule is linked on this slide at that Google form right there, that Google Slides or Sheets or whatever. Sorry, the Google Sheets right there. And also, I believe we have screenshots over the next few slides. Everyone is already on there. If you're not on there, let us know, obviously. Guidelines for the presentations are in the handbook. But also you'll be seeing a few presentations today, and hopefully that should help you and the rest of your group get a feel for what's expected of your presentation and what you need to do if you're going not today. There are also a few examples in the handbook too, if you want to look at those. So yeah, everyone should finish their presentation with their groups and be ready to present on their day. And I believe the next few slides are either peer grading or the schedule.
Yeah, so I'm going to talk a little bit about peer grading, and then we'll get to the schedule. Yeah, that's probably the best way to go. We're trying something new this year. In previous semesters, we've had a Google form that you filled out to rank and give feedback, evaluation feedback to the people who are presenting. We're going to try this using Submiti this year. So if you go to this link, right, that should take you to a page that looks like this. This is, if you've been a marker or you've been a TA, right? This is the grading interface for a submittee gradable. If you come in or been in NetKern, okay, this is what it looks like. You're going to have to figure out which one of these groups is actually presenting. That should be easy because one of their first slides must be the names of the groups, and we'll try to have them tell us what their group name is. There's no way for me to actually put the correct name on there. I uploaded a blank presentation for everybody. So you come in here, let's say Matthew Zier, Samuel Obi, Schlaksha, Evan Wang, and Yandeng Zhang were presenting today. You would come in, click on the grading button. It would bring you to this nice little, come on. It would slowly bring you to this nice little interface. My machine's a little tired right now because it's running this and the recording and everything else. The question is, how long do I want to wait for this to come up?
While we wait, maybe we'll make a note that I don't know if this is actually visible to them. At least I don't see it yet.
Is actually what?
It might not be visible yet. Like it might be still hidden. The whole gradable. I only see status update open right now.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to let this. What you'll see is you'll see a little interface. Come on. Well, you know what? I'm going to duplicate this and I'll move elsewhere while we're waiting for this to resolve. Is there a test or something going on? This was working fine just a little bit ago, and now everything is bollocksing up. All right, let's go back to here for right now. We'll try to get to that in just a second. I will check to make sure that the gradable is open when we get started with our presentations. But this is, we're going to ask you to go in. What'll come up after you click on. Oh, it's maybe that's because that's my grading interface. Okay, so here's what it actually looks like when you come in. If you come in as a student, I was coming in as an instructor. So it should be open because it's open for me as a grader. You can come in on the grading interface. Come in here, find the right group, click on it, and yeah, there we go. Come in, put the grading rubric over here, if you'd like, wherever you want it actually works. And then for each of the individual things, the title, right, we go no credit if there's absolutely a horrible rendition, from excellent, needs work or not addressed, or somewhere in between. And you can do this for each one of the categories. Yeah, everybody gets it. If they have the presentation, they probably get at least 5 points or at least 6 points. But if there's, if it's conspicuously absent or the presentation is way short or something like that, then you can give them a 0. These are not their grades necessarily. I look at it and I kind of put some weighting on there to make sure that we're not overly harsh, or and I mainly use it to make sure that I'm not overly harsh. So that's the grading interface. 10%, 10%. All the marks are there. Go down, give them a decent mark, and we'll take a look at those. Frank, do you want to talk about the rest of the presentation now?
Yes. So the schedule remains the same as you see here, except the last project Egeria. You're not doing that today. So Lavender will be up first. Please check out this spreadsheet if you don't know when your project is going. Hopefully that's not today. Let us know if there are any problems ahead of time. There are only enough slots for projects, so it'll be very difficult for us to work with that. That's all. And the next slides are the screenshots of the other weeks.
Yeah, please find your slot. This is an enormously tight schedule, so, and we're already just about behind. So
Going forward, projects should keep meeting and get their presentations done and ready to be presented on their presentation day. You should also, if you're worried about your contribution count or whatever, keep making contributions on your project. We don't cut you off until I believe April 30th. So keep making contributions, finish your presentations. Yeah. Feel free to stay and watch the presentations. Otherwise, if you have work to do with your group and you're not presenting today, you can go do that. And let's get started on those.
okay, so I'm just going to quickly go to attendance. You guys know where you are. Let's see. Yeah, these came up finally, by the way. Right, just these little. These are the places where we're going to rank them, and you just go through and click here to open it up, and then provide them with your peer evaluation. If we go to venue, I'm going to leave this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the see what day is it here. I'm going to open up the code. I'm going to leave it up floating while we start going into the presentations. Grab it as you can. Otherwise, we will. We're not going to delay our stuff any further. So I'm just going to leave this down in the corner for right now. All right, and you guys can kind of go in there, and as soon as I get everything up there, there you go. You guys should be able to go in there. Hopefully you'll be able to get it. If you have issues, text us or DM us. All right, so with that in mind, and going back to our presentation schedule, it looks like we have our first victim, our first contender is Lavender. So is Lavender here? Do you guys want to take? If you should be able to start presenting. I will demote myself from the screen.
Do you want to maybe pause the recording or stop the recording too, just so people watching it after don't have to watch all the presentations as well to get credit?
I can actually set a time on that. So I'm going to set the time for 15 minutes or 14 minutes. 14 minutes. Okay, so actually, you know what? We'll just do it. That's a really good point.